starting now. Hey, what's up?
You
What's
know
up?
what you're keen in?
We
Hello?
started. We started. Yeah, we started. We're officially live. What's up, beautiful
Mm.
people? Yes, we are going to
MPL is
be.
here.
Yeah, we're
MPL
going
is
to
here.
be.
MPL is here. All right, all
Woo!
right, all right. For real? Okay,
All
okay,
right,
okay.
this is what it
It's
is.
been a long, it's been a long time coming actually. But
Yeah,
I'm super excited for sure. You can tell. But yeah, um,
absolutely, absolutely.
I don't even know. I don't even know because we started when I think that was February. I think we
Mhm,
started sometime in February, March.
mhm.
And it's been a crazy ride. We've had the playoffs, the qualifiers, then we had the league, then the super weekend after super weekend after super weekend, and now here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Nigerian Pro League Season 6 finals. Be your man here, Priest with fire. Are we chilling? We chilling.
Man, we are ready, absolutely ready to go get into the games. The teams are already beginning to shape up right there. Let's join the teams and see how they're doing. All right,
Mm.
so please on ground right here we have the boys from MOB, and it does look like everyone is pretty much like the spots. Just tell us what you do expect to see in today's games.
I mean, there's a whole lot of interesting setups. Looking forward to the play zone and the team so far. I mean, Men of Blood, very very comfortable team so far. Looking in how they've been able to progress from the playoffs all the way to the league and then to the finals. They've been super super impressive. But then let's not forget about the guys from O3, the number one team, the defending champions of the Nigerian Pro League. So for a fact you have to be, absolutely ready for them, and you have to be very certain, that they are going to be turning up. I mean, I am looking forward to the guys from O3 turning up in this lobby as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure, I am 100% certain that they're going to bring their A game even from day one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm certain that is exactly what's going to happen. Right here because the boys from O3, put up an incredible performance in, last year's MPL, I'll be super excited to see if they can replicate that same performance in today's games. But regardless of that, guys, do remember to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let us know who you guys are supporting, who you think is going to be taking home this crown at the end of the day. But Priest, I mean, if you are to, place your caster course on one or two teams, who will be those one or two, who will chop the caster's course?
Well, this is around you, so for a fact, I'm going to be going with O3. They are very, very, very capable when it comes to this map. But I am looking forward to seeing, if 10-11 will step up to the plate. They are equally as strong, on Erandio. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that is going to pan out. But OG and the guys from First Arctics, it looks like they might just be getting to something interesting there. And it looks like it's going to be on that eastern side. The bullets are already starting to fly out. Will be getting knocked away and confirmed equally by Monga, as OG will be the first team to get a couple of eliminations under their belt, and First Arctics will be the first team to be swept out of the lobby. Fire, did you see that coming? First Arctics, first to go. First Arctics, first
Man.
to be sent back.
I did not see that coming at all. I tried to, I was trying to adjust the map screen quickly there. But the boys from First Actors getting into some quick early action right there, as we've seen them get those eliminations. Sorry, the boys from OG actually taking out the boys from First Actors quite early here. You can see them already be getting those through eliminations. There's the boy Monga, who comes through for this team. Now, do you know a little bit of the backstory about Monga?
Oh, for sure. For sure, for sure. I played alongside Monga, back in
Okay.
Citizens a couple of years ago. I was his IGL, I was his captain. He's a very, very solid team player. He's always been super consistent as a support player. That was basically his role. He was a support, he was a free man, and he did his role absolutely fantastic when we were in Citizens. I think he even played in Dumzanzi. He does have a Uzanzi experience as well to top that off. So yeah, I've been a fan of Monga for a while. He's one of my oldest friends. I think he did he has also learned a couple of things, coming into the NPL. from the playoffs and the league stages. He has been able to brushing up his skills, his skill set, and that is an absolutely fantastic way to to wrap things up. But OG, having Monga on their side, that's a big plus for them. Chief as well. But then, I'm looking forward to seeing if he will be super consistent, when it comes to this final stage, because there's a whole lot that could rival the way that they play against these other teams that have made it to the finals as well.
Yeah, definitely super amazing stuff. We'll continue to see, what that does mean for these teams right here and how they're able to continue on with their performances. We'll continue to keep an eye on all of those teams right there. As you can see them being spaced out throughout the entire zone. It's the boys from 03 all the way up at that Georgia Pool region. We've seen some early action coming down from the boys from OG who've gotten themselves those little bit of eliminations coming through right there in this particular one, and we do see the boys from OG now beginning to hop into the vehicles. They're looking to make those rotations into that zone. They're not too far away from the boys from Foul Play who find themselves around Lipovka.
Yeah, Lipovka is looking like a very interesting position to be in now for most of these teams. It's actually very fun, eastern part of the circle, not too much to envision if you're trying to get called out or played out as well. I think the guys from Foul Play, they will have a lot of work to do because they are the only team that did come into the lobby with 3 players in, and that's an unfortunate scenario if you want to kick off the NPL finale just like that. Lone Wolf, Locane, and PlayStation 5, the 3 to pull up to the scene. But it's going to be very tricky because I did see the old guards just drive right through from their position. So it looks like there's a potential, 4 versus 3 that is brewing around these parts. But again, it's Foul Play. They are very, very good when it comes to playing around compounds. They're very, very solid when it comes to playing around compounds based off of their trajectory when it comes to playing around Severny, for the longest of time. So I think that strategy will hold up in this area as well.
Yeah, we'll continue to keep an eye on that and see how he does perform. But now we're seeing the shots being let loose right there from the bottom Foul Play going up against 10-11 right there. We do see, Godier and his boys already beginning to take the shots up against the boys from Foul Play. Now Foul Play coming into this one as a 3-man squad. They couldn't get their last guy to come into the game, but Lone Wolf and PlayStation will be definitely holding up this particular position. PlayStation, by the way, having the most interesting name in the Nigerian region. There's always been this, wordplay coming on between, names and, the clan names. Well, I think this one wins it for me as the most interesting one.
I mean, it's pretty cool, PlayStation 5 is pretty cool. Ooh, nice, interesting shots there being let loose. But it looks like not much will be coming out from that one, as OG will be the object of the desire for the guys from Foul Play here as well. They've been maintaining that position, and I did tell you about the ability of the guys from Foul Play to continue to deal damage continuously as well from this position. But you can see Locane is trying to take an advantage here, but he is going to be knocked away by the guys from OG, and he is going to be sent back into the lobby very, very quickly, I might add. And Low Wolf is knocked out as well. He will be confirmed. OG doing the Lord's work now. Elimination after elimination. Clark sending Lone Wolf back all the way into the lobby. And now it's all left to PlayStation 5. You can see him is just bobbing and weaving on the edge of the riverbank there, just chilling, and waiting for the guys from 10-11 and OG to get into something very, very interesting.
All right, we did see a couple of those players right there from OG take on a fight coming up against the boys from 10 and 80. They do have two casualties in that fight, and it does look like they're going to be pulling away from it. But Priest, I mean, what would you say is your thoughts on that fight going on between the boys from OG and 10 and 80 right there?
Well, 10-11.
10-11, sorry. 10-11.
He looked like I mean, you want make OG fight 10-80. The people with the do anything, we didn't fight us. I bet we didn't fight us. We no go cast for street. But well, speaking of something very interesting there, PlayStation 5 will get a couple of shots onto Bego there, and he might just confirm him. But fortunately, the smokes will come out and hide hide his behind. And unfortunately, that will be a savior for Bego. Then he gets a little bit too close, but you might just get popped off as well. Gordier is on the left-hand side. He might just decide to rotate full circle, and he might just get caught out. PlayStation 5 has to be careful. He has been shooting from one position, and things might just get very iffy for him now. He does pop a smoke to that left-hand side. And hopefully, unfortunately, this will not come to fruition. 10-11 will reposition and find another angle to navigate from.
All right, so Bego being dropped.
And that is the end of PlayStation 5, actually.
Oh my goodness. He did put up a really good fight in that particular one. He held on for as long as he could. He took Bego down, was looking to see if he could seal that victory coming through for them. But it will be the boys from 10 and 11 coming out on top at the end of the day. Fex, and I mean, well known within the community. He has played for the boys from Slam 4KT and he has won the competition before. So obviously he would be giving them some tips and tricks on how to see if they can seal this game through. But now let's take a look and see where things are currently for a lot of these teams. You can see them already beginning to make them move towards that northern side of that zone. We do have the boys from Rage already sitting down quite comfortably, as well as the boys from OG. OG has lost two of their players, and we did see some action quite earlier between the boys from 21 and even the boys from Active Gaming. We'll see what that did mean for them later on. But what do you think about the entire game so far? I mean, the boys from Active Gaming. I mean, we couldn't see their fight, but they took out the boys from 21st Century, and we've seen some action going down between them as well as the boys from MOB now beginning to get into the action themselves too now.
Ooh, Men of Blood, and of all the teams to be getting to a skirmish with, it is Cyclone Shield. It could get very tricky as well. Could get very iffy too. But Magic will be popping and locking it there, sending a couple of shots through. Nothing too serious just yet. But here comes Manny with the buggy trying to roll over. He does pop out, and a couple of shots from Magic again tries to connect. But here comes Manny will get the last laugh there as Magic will be swept away and sent back into the lobby. Cyclone Shield with their own dose of 4 eliminations. They did lose Roach, but that was a sacrifice worth making because they're 4 points up, and it looks like there would be more to it in this engagement. There's 12 teams in the cut, 45 players up, and Cyclone Shield will be the victor in this engagement as Men of Blood will be crying tears all the way back into the lobby.
Yeah, the boys from Cycling Shield putting in the work right there as they do continue to get themselves into good spots within that zone. But now here's where things now begin to get interesting as all of those teams will be gearing up to move into that great spot within that center right there. We do see the boys right there from Vibe Gaming and the rest already sitting down quite comfortable, and we'll be tuning into them in just a moment. You can see them just heading on their rotations, and Lagba, another really interesting name does find himself in that center. I mean, are they a new team or they just I don't know, they just probably changed their name?
I mean, this is why I've always loved the NPL. Brand new Nigerian players, brand new Nigerian teams, always keeping a buck, keeping 100, learning, adapting. So, I've never heard of the guys from Knock and Lobby before. I mean, I've heard of the name, but I've never seen them in the NPL. This is their debut. This is the first time they are going to be in the NPL. So, and they've actually made it all the way to the final. So that is very, very impressive. I'm so impressed. And owing to the fact that they actually kept, to Nigerian a demographic of Nigerian naming. Somebody's name here is Agbalagba. I mean, the average Nigerian would relate to that name, and then you have a guy like that, his name is Balablu. I mean, if you're a Nigerian, you would understand what these names mean, So because that
Absolutely.
is why I'm a fan of the team, the way they name themselves, if you're for hearing it on stream, Agbalagba, Balablu, I mean, that okay, yeah, it doesn't get any more Nigerian than this, So that's why I'm a big fan of the team right there. This is actually the first time I am seeing their new recruit, the new player. Elixir just joined the roster so far, so he has been very impressive. I mean, Nokalobi was a four-man team, but now I think they've acquired another player into the roster. So that's actually impressive to see that another player has decided to join their ranks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to perform in the finale.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll continue to keep an eye on that and see, how this one does progress. But we saw several different teams trying as much as possible to make the rotations into that zone, and it was looking quite difficult for a moment right there, as we did see the boys from Active Gaming getting shot up from several different corners. But at the end of the day, they were successful in finding themselves a good spot to hold on to, and we'll continue to see, what that does mean for all of these teams at the end of the day. But speaking about what that means for all of these teams right here, we do still have about 45 buddies so far. We've been seeing teams just drop left, right, center. The zone is about to move moving into what's that stage 3. And now is where all of these teams will be gearing up to see if they can get into those little fights before things starts beginning to get choked up. But we're seeing the boys from Dream Team and the boys from 10-11 get closer and closer towards each other. Sad does get dropped down to the ground, and now here's when the boys from 10-11 can begin to make their push. And the Shakes, who was putting in the work onto the boys from Dream Team right there, and he does get that elimination, puts him down to the ground, and it's always a sight to see when you do see an incredible player like Sad turning into that Iceman.
Ooh. It does get tricky when the glacier does come out. But Dream Team will be on the receiving end there from 10-11. It's an interesting play coming in from that position as well, because it did get very, 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 very quick a response from 10-11, because, for the fact that Dream Team did occupy this position first, and 10-11 just pulled up to the scene, from that southern side. But then again, Shregs has actually decided to start to step up and step right through coming into the finale now. It is so impressive how the guys from 10-11 were able to, bait and switch back and forth in that engagement, and they just turned the whole thing on its head very, very quickly against the guys from Dream Team. So then, I think that's like 5 eliminations for the guys from 10-11. I think they are leading on the board right now. So hopefully, I would be seeing an incredible performance coming from them, because they were my pick, coming into this game when you asked earlier. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they will not, let me down.
Yeah, definitely. We will see, how that one continues to progress for them. But we also see the boys from, Active Gaming just rotating around the boys from 03, and we do see one not coming through right there, as the boys from Active Gaming are going to be losing one of the players, that is Skinny, who does get dropped down. And with the boys from 03 be making that full push, you can see TQ going in and trying to see if he can get a knock coming through right down to La Beast, and La Beast is just going to decide to escape right there from that position, and being protected by the very expensive Bugatti. He definitely keep providing him that cover. Do you think if it was another vehicle he would have gotten knocked?
I mean, are you trying to say that Bugatti is a protector or something? I mean, what are you trying to say? All of you that
I think another vehicle. I think another vehicle. If
all
it was
of
in
you that
if it was in a
Bugatti,
buggy,
make you let us rest.
if it was in a buggy, you'd have gotten knocked.
Let us
Where's
rest.
your
Let
where's
us
your
rest.
Bugatti? Where's your Bugatti?
I beg, fire, let us rest. Leave this Bugatti to Bugatti does not make you pro. My
Where
keke,
is
my
your
keke, I did pro up.
Bugatti?
I'm
Where's
even
your
better
Bugatti?
than most of these guys with my keke. Don't stop playing, man. Stop.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a nice spray from TQ. That's a nice spray from TQ, but it's not going to work. Prop Pro will get knocked away as well. But TQ will be doing his absolute best just to hold out from that position. But he cannot overextend. If he does overextend, it will be dangerous. Active Gaming, though, they have 5 eliminations. Well, all they have to do now is maintain the distance between themselves and the rest of these teams that are still in their that area, OG and the guys from 03 still harboring a harboring some ill-fated intentions against them, in this engagement, pro. But unfortunately, the guys from O3 might not just be taking this one very lightly. But Surge will pull up to the scene as well. He is rotating from that western side. The smoke's already coming out from TQ. Preemptive play, very very active as well. Opropro is bleeding out second after second, minute after minute. TQ has to make the right call here. He has to make it very, very quickly, though. He is getting surrounded by O3, but I believe he will be able to get to the revive just in time. 20 HP left, but Surge will be driving by. And the guys from O3 are looking from the hilltop. Surely they are looking down onto Active Gaming, just looking for them to pop right through. And Shiva will catch again from the right-hand side. TQ dropped all the way down to 1 HP. And O3 have started to cook. Active Gaming in serious danger here. Left side unequivocally on free, actually. O3 in a 2-2 split. It could get very, very dangerous here. Grenade from La Beast will catch two. Pro and TQ knocked away. And TQ confirmed, actually. Sent back into the lobby. Pro as well to follow, courtesy of Shiva. And O3 again dealing damage to the guys from Active Gaming. And they are down to one player. It is Surge, the top G, left for Active Gaming. Fire, that is the danger. They allowed TQ to be baited for that revive. He should have let it go. He should have let that revive go. He should have left Pro to bear the consequences of getting knocked away. That would have been the right call. He should not have gone for that revive.
Absolutely.
O3 were littered around the entire place. They saw him. They were just waiting for him to come for that revive, and then the grenade started coming out. I mean, that is classic bait and switch. Fantastic work from O3 brothers. But Active Gaming, unfortunate scenes for them. But hopefully, Surge will be able to get them a couple of points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see, what that does mean for them at the end of the day. We did see them losing a couple of their players in that particular fight. They did try as much as possible to see if they could put up the work in this game, but they've gotten themselves a couple of those eliminations. But now we turn our sights to the boys from No, as they haven't been in on any fight so far. They've got the last player from Active Gaming, Surge Top G, who is not too far away from them, but things are looking quite normal for them, as now we might be turning our sights onto the guys from Knock and Lobby, who are gearing up for a skirmish coming down between the boys from Rage right there, as Deji and his boys will be looking to see if they can take on this particular position that they're currently situated at. Now let's see if they're beginning to make their push, Priest.
Ooh. 03 breezing right through, outside of Yasnaya, Poliana. I mean, all of these teams are actually getting into a little bit of an early engagement, as you can tell there. Ooh, knocks and knocks already coming through there. And that's a beautiful one to catch. The guys from 03 with could get very tricky as well. The smoke grenades and whatnot already coming out there. And that's a fantastic one being held out. Spray after spray. Again, he pops out. Might just get knocked away as well, but he is not going to get knocked away. He will get that knock instead. And now goes back for the revive. Fantastic stuff. But now he has to do a 1 versus 2. Can he? No, he is not going to be able to get it done. And that is the end of the guys from Knock and Lobby. Fantastic stuff coming in.
Oh, absolutely amazing stuff right there. As the boys from Raid tried as much as possible to keep themselves in this particular one, but the third parties coming through did mean that they would lose a couple of the players. But here's now Captain from Knuckle Lobby trying as much as possible to see if he can get himself into that zone. But speaking about getting himself into that zone, there's also the boys from 03 who do find themselves in a very tricky situation. Labis is the one who is left up. He's got the boys from 10-11 in front of them who are just sending on them shots, and now Labis trying as much as possible to see if he can get the knock as he dumps the sight onto Fex. He dropped Fex down, but it will be the last one, who does get that fight coming through, as the boys from 10-11 are left with just Gaudier, who's now trying to get himself into that zone. Man, Priest, what do you think about this one?
10-11 Yeah, that was a fantastic play coming in from them. Still dealing on, the guys from O3. I mean, it was only going to be O3 that was going to be able to, deal damage to them and scare them off. So that was pretty impressive. But unfortunately, they did lose Shergs and Bego in that engagement, also losing Fex together. Ooh, but that is going to be the end for God J there, courtesy of Dream Team. Dream Team not they're not dreaming of that chicken dinner right now because it looks like they might just be heading for it. And that's a beautiful one. That is their first elimination. Imagine your first elimination being against one of the most dominating teams in the lobby. That is fantastic stuff. You can only be in the NPL. But again, Knock and Lobby doing a fantastic job of holding out there. But Agbalagba will get knocked away. And I believe that will be the end. But again, a little bit too close for comfort there. As you can see, the guys from OG doing a fantastic job of fighting battles all the way from inside the sniper tower. Monga leans outside, looks towards the north. You can see the guys from No Gaming, and he might just decide to set his sights on them. Pops a little bit of a shot with his 4x, or that M4. Might just start to do the Lord's work there. But Mando just behind of his buggy there, but he doesn't have the play zone. He has to be very, very active to get inside the next play zone. He has to move 200 meters at least to find the next place that will do the trick for him. For Free Esports, doing a fantastic job clocking into the top 8 here. As you can already tell, there's a whole lot that is going to be required here coming in from the guys from OG. You can see them. I talked about Monga actually, leading towards the guys from No Gaming, and one after the other, they start to lose players again against the guys from Active Gaming this time. Again, another spray from Surge. 5 eliminations for Active Gaming, and somehow Surge is still cracking it into the top 8. Fire, did you see Surge making it into the top 8? I mean, the rest of his team got eliminated significantly way earlier, but here he still is.
Yeah, it still is, and it's putting on the work onto several different teams around him. You can see the boys from No Gaming right there getting peppered as he does get a confirmation onto Keys, and and not just that, he is getting he's getting those placement points, but he's also being part of the players who are taking out the boys from No Gaming. Of course, they had the zone to contend with, but now he's moved the team all the way up into that top 7. If they do get into that top 5, then definitely it could have worked out for them, but we might be speaking too soon, as there is also the boys from CLS who are right there in front of them, in front of him, looking to see if they can get themselves into a little bit of this action too as well.
And the sprays continue again from the guys from OG. It is going to be Monga and Chief working hand in hand, playing off each other side by side. As Monga pops again, looks inside the distance, trying to catch a couple of stray birds, and he's trying to shoot again. He peeks to the eastern side, but unfortunately, there is no one within the vicinity for him to pop right through. But Afro Esports will be spotted again. And Laser this time around is going to be the victim of a couple of shots being sent from the guys from Cyclone Shield. But Monga is still inside of the sniper tower. I mean, you have to respect, the plays, coming in from OG. They took a fantastic position inside of the play zone, have a little bit of high ground. They can see all the ops. All they have to do is wait for those teams, to come into view from either position. But here comes the guys from Vibe, a complete Vibe team. 4 players in the cut, and they have the potential to do a lot of damage coming into this final third, as Temi still has his vehicle in the cut right here. It's also going to be so impressive having a vehicle at this stage of the game. It says a whole lot about the franchising and how you want to play this right through. But a couple of shots again from Temi towards the guys from Afro Esports. They will be rotating from that eastern side, but he doesn't have the play zone just yet. But the rest of the guys from Vibe, just take a look. They are all coming in with vehicles. They are creating their own kind of cover, and it is so impressive to see. But Afro Esports will be spotted by Temi there. A couple of shots might just start to ring away from that position, and the play zone will be making an advance. But then Afro Esports Fire, they've been blessed. They've been zone blessed. But what a time to be zone blessed at all, because every single person now knows the general direction of where you are. Temi might just make this call and play an advance towards that position.
Yeah, absolutely. We will see, how this continues to build up. But the boys from Afro Esports might just be taking advantage of the position that they do find themselves right now. They're sitting quite comfortably within that center. That does mean that every single one of these teams have got to somehow crash this position. OG do find themselves in a very sticky situation too, as well, as they're just left with Munga, who will be looking to see if he can defend them in this game. They've got the maximum amount of elimination so far. Definitely, it does show that they've been getting into so much action action. But speaking about Afro Esports, we now see them also getting peppered by the boys from Vibe Gaming. The grenades coming through, and it is also OG Manga getting pushed. And Molly looking to see if they can take him down. The boys from CLS right there, Priest.
Ooh, Manga pops outside, switches to the Tommy gun, tries to get the first knock, but he is not going to get past Manny. Cyclone Shield will be sending the guys from OG back into the lobby, and now we've got 2 teams left. Afro Esports will follow suit. Vibe versus the guys from Cyclone Shield, and a couple of sprays towards Kenny, and he is going to get blown away. That's the danger of having a vehicle. You will get blown away if you are exposed, and now Cyclone Shield will pull up to the scene. Manny drives right through just to get an intel, tries to take the 1 versus 3, but it's not going to work out. Manny is going to get swept away. Now Vibe Gaming on the upper hand here. Stoner tries to rotate from the right hand side, but he will be spotted, knocked away as well by an explosion. Danny Brown at the last one up. Cyclone Shield trying to do their absolute best, but it might not just be working out here. Danny Brown trying to deal damage onto the guys from a Vibe all by himself, but it's not going to do the job just soon enough. He will be spotted and exposed due to the terrain, and Cyclone Shield will fall to the guys from Vibe. Beautiful work coming in from the guys from Vibe Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. The first chicken dinner of the night.
Man,
And,
absolutely amazing stuff coming through right there from the boys from Vibe Gaming. Early on, they didn't quite get themselves into the amount of action that we probably would have thought that they would have gotten. But at the end of the day, they come up with a winner chicken dinner, as well as getting those 5 elimination points. So that is 15 points for them. But you can also rule out so many different teams like 10, 11. Also, OG, who did get themselves a whole bunch of eliminations coming through all the way into that final circle. All right, guys, so we'll be taking a quick break. We'll take some adverts from our sponsors, and we'll be back in a couple of moments. We still got 3 games to go, so don't go nowhere. We'll see you in a couple of moments. Guys, this one, I was a bit confused. My switching, I know, don't worry. I know. Are you serious? Are you serious? Wow. To switch. Okay.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that is
I see how
sexy.
that. I see how.
Sexy.
I.
Sexy.
Yo,
That's
what's
big
up,
sexy
guys?
shit.
What's up, guys? Okay, we just came on right here just to show you guys, a little
Did
bit
you say
of
we just came?
where
Fire, relax,
everybody
bro.
is. I have,
Relax. You say we just came. We just came on,
that my
bro.
that
You
my
need to
viral
chill.
video I did. You know how I started the video? I started the video with, guys, I have come. Oh,
Oh my
so
god. Oh my
so
god.
truly, that was it right there, but nobody picked it up. So nobody picked it up. Okay, so we have the boys from Vibe Gaming all the way in that number one spot. Clearly, well deserved. They got the eliminations. They got the placement points. We do have the boys from CLS coming in, trading in that second spot, with the boys from Old Guards as well in that third spot. So Priest, I mean, the guys I'm a bit surprised to see is the boys from Active Gaming. So they did finish that game in, I think Surge managed to get them into fifth place, fifth or sixth place, because they got themselves those three, bit of placement points as well as those six elims. So they have managed to get themselves into the discussion right next to the boys from O3, who got 9 eliminations and no placement points. So O3 and 10-11, basically those two pretty much just took out themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I think rotation wise, they did get caught out against each other when the games was trying to run right through. It got very very tricky for them. But Afro Esports and the guys from Dream Team just falling shy of seventh and eighth position. Knock and Lobby, trailing through as well. But again, it is very impressive to see how the leaderboard is looking. Nobody has cracked into the top 20 points bracket just yet. Vibe Gaming just 3 points shy. Cyclone Shield just following suit. But again, it is all a matter of how many eliminations can back your placements. Old Guards doing a fantastic job of getting 8 eliminations in that engagement, but it looks like there might be more coming into that engagement, coming into this game as well. So there might be a whole lot of work that is going to be required for most of these teams to crack into that top 8, because that's where you want to be. You want to be.
Do you think you've got what it takes?
Coming in from these teams. But again, I am impressed so far coming in, at least into this Miramar game. I am looking forward to, see teams like Afro Esports and, 10-11 work a fantastic job of holding out in this area. So, Fire, tell me, it's Miramar. Who's your money on? Who is your money on?
I'm gonna be very biased on this one with this one right here. So I'm going to go for Active Gaming. I say my money is on Active Gaming to take home this game. Yeah. I know some people will be like,
okay. Active Gaming. If you guys don't win, you know who is responsible for that.
Flogging Kane.
You know who is responsible.
Kane.
Remember, it is never take responsibility. Blame everyone else. And
Yes.
that is the way to go.
Yes.
But if you guys don't win, blame Fire. It is Fire's fault 100%. If you guys don't win, blame Fire. In the last game I did talk about 10-11 and O3. They did perform, but they didn't win, and that's totally their fault, because they can't even blame me. Can't say it's me, because I was not there playing with them.
Can be
me.
me.
They know exactly what they were doing. But then hopefully this is the game that they will decide to step up in. Again, it gets very tricky, in Miramar. I think those teams that tend to favor the high ground will work a phenomenal number against those other teams. Again, they already, violence already starting to brew there. I can see something happening in the feed. I'm not sure where that is. I think Active and OG getting very, very comfortable with each other all the way outside there, and that a little bit right eastern side. But TQ, unfortunately, is stuck. It is up and it is stuck. Active Gaming, 2 eliminations up currently, courtesy of Pro actually. But guys, the Men of Blood as well into some violence, looking for some blood, surely. And it could get very, very interesting again.
Yeah, the boys Yeah, absolutely. The boys from Men of Blood coming up against Rage right there. So you do see Salam. It is a boy who got basically down to, pretty much what is 30% HP right there. But he was able to get himself that knockdown. Now it's Rage. Rage, who will be then going up against Rage himself. But Alpha just tried to get into that conversation, but he will be getting thirsted and knocked down, put down to the ground as he's left with just his last player, Rage, to somehow try to hold on to their life for them in this particular game. Now Magic comes into the mix. He's down, gets dropped down as well again, and Rage just found a way to hold on for them in this game. But he's the amount of I did think for a second that he had lost bullets right there.
Oh my god,
coming up against 3-man Priest.
Fire, you need to stop phrasing your words like that. Coming up against 3 men, come on, bro. Like be for real. Like, why are you saying it like that? Coming up against 3 men. I mean,
but he came against 3 men now.
Really, bro? Like, you need to chill. Fire, you need to chill. Please, please, I beg. Please, this is 9 p.m.
I definitely did not mean it
Friday night.
Mean it the way that you're taking it, please, guys. I didn't mean it that way.
Like, okay, so it gets very tricky in that engagement because I don't know why Salam chose to, play off the left there with no utilities. I mean, if you wanted to play off the left with no utilities, that's a nice one from Monga there. If you want to play off with no utilities, I mean, it would have been better to give yourself a little bit of distance to work with. But OG here under serious fire from Active Gaming Pro is going to be knocked away. And here comes the skinny there. But Monga exposes himself just a little bit too much there. A couple of sprays towards TQ. But TQ will be the better man. And Cole will be the last one up for the guys from OG. There's a lot of work that needs to come in here, though. OG. It is going to be cold, just hopping from roof to roof, but it might not just be the best idea here because Monga will be confirmed by TQ and OG getting their asses handed to them by Active Gaming, getting super active, but Cole will get out of dodge and try to live to fight another day, but hopefully will not get spotted out and knocked away while he tries to jackpot from this position. But fortunately for the old guards, Cole will be the one to keep their flag flying high at least for a couple of more minutes.
Yeah, we did see there was some Active Gaming who did get themselves into that fourth spot. They had quite a tough game in the previous one, but did get themselves some good eliminations and some placement points there. Now in this second game, get themselves some good eliminations to come through. But now we turn our sights onto the boys from No Gaming, who are coming up on ground against the boys from Knock and Lobby, and you can see right there, so trying as much as possible to see if he can get those knocks coming through, but he would definitely be put down, as it is Rusty, who is now the final player left in this position. Rusty does get that knock coming through, but he's down in the HP as the boys from Knock and Lobby do come out on top at the end of the day.
No Gaming getting swept off their feet, and not in the most romantic way there. But it is going to be the DBS that does him in, unfortunately. The firing rate when you're trying to reload that weapon is just so unfortunate, and the guys from No Gaming did fall victim to that, unfortunately. But Knock and Lobby will come out on top again, getting themselves some significant number of eliminations. It will be the trick. It will be the defining trick that does the job for them, though. And I am loving the performances coming in so far. But here come the guys from Men of Blood, actually setting their sights onto Knock and Lobby, and that's a beautiful spray coming in from Rage there. I mean, that is the M16. It is a single fire weapon, and he is firing it anyhow, and he might just get a couple of knocks though onto the guys from Knock and Lobby. Someone there is cut down to about 1 HP. And it might just do the trick, though, all the way from this distance. It is very impressive to shoot the M16 all the way across from here. At least that is at least 200 meters, and it is very impressive. Even with a red dot, it is very, very impressive. Fire, can you shoot that distance with an M16?
I can do all things. I can do all things.
Hit your shot. You see, through Christ Jesus that strengthens your ability. Oh, Benny, come up for me. You know good. You know good. I ask you, if you say yes, this guy.
Hallelujah. All right, so the boys from Knock and Lobby are finding themselves in a sticky situation. It's 11 and his boys are pulling up quite close into this position. Ooh. Down goes Lagba. And there goes the team right there from Knock and Lobby as they do get sent back packing. And my goodness, the boys from MOB do get themselves 5 eliminations in that particular position. They do well. They do well. I'm saying this in what's the name of this comedian again that keeps saying you do well?
I think it's that
Mr. Macaroni.
That guy. Yeah,
Mr. Macaroni.
Dude, yeah. he's even a comedian at this point. He's more of an actor because I've been seeing him in movies. I saw
Yeah.
him in Gangs of London, I think.
Yeah,
Gangs
yeah,
of
yeah,
Lagos.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know
Sorry.
that was a
Gangs.
movie. That was a movie.
Nah, I wouldn't say it was a movie. For me, it was mid though. You know, it
I
was
mean,
quite mid.
I mean, okay, so for me, yeah, like I only recently started watching King. I watched King of Boys, like all those type of series. Like I don't usually watch that, right? I'm mostly
Yeah,
watching like the foreign sci-fi movies. So it was something
yeah.
different for me. You get
Yeah,
watching all
for
those
sure.
type
I
of
mean,
movies.
I
Yeah.
was impressed, cinematography wise and all of that. Production wise, Nollywood is top tier right now. I mean, Amazon Prime, all of that stuff, is good. But it
Yeah.
falls into the stereotypical, performance when you're trying to, show Nigeria to the rest of the world. It is still the same storyline every single time. I mean, King of Boys was about, the underbelly of Lagos and Nigerian politics.
Yeah.
Brotherhood, the same thing. What's the name of this? What's the name of this particular one? These Gangs of Lagos, as the name implies, Gangs of Lagos, the
Yeah.
exact same storyline that we were seeing, and it's all about thuggery, Lagos underbelly politics, basically, the same thing, but the acting, the cast, solid stuff all around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nigeria is moving forward as well.
Yeah. I think the thing that affects basically other regions apart from Hollywood is that and this is not just Nollywood. Now, sorry guys, we're talking about movies, but it's
I mean,
just a
we're
topic.
talking about Nigeria,
Nigeria basically, but the thing
so
that affects Nigeria and basically even Bollywood has the same problem too is that whenever there's a type of movie, right, that sells, people just rush and start making that same type. Start over and over
exactly,
again. It happens in Bollywood too as well. So Bollywood for a very long time
yeah,
they were making all these love movies, and it was basically the same
yeah.
story every single time. You saw like if you watch this what's the name of this TV station I hate? Oh God,
Z
Z
World,
World. Yeah, basically like like
bro,
like
don't worry.
it's all the same. Like every single movie, it's all about some guy and falls in
And
love
a
and
love that is not destined to
that is not
be.
destined to be
That
or
the
is
ops,
destined
the
to.
ops are trying to, your village people
God,
working against you.
exactly,
Win the love of your life.
exactly.
You
Same thing with
know,
the Mexican movies too, as well. Well, too, there's always somebody breaking
cartels
Paloma's heart or
on
cartels or
some cartel
yeah. Yeah,
vibes.
exactly. I think it happens, but I think the Nigerian more and more as Nigeria continues to develop, they will keep improving. But now let's turn our sights
Yeah.
on to the boys from PlayStation. I think PlayStation is currently alone in this vicinity. He does have his teammates far away from him, so he might not be getting that help coming through as the boys from Dream
Oh,
Team are pulling up quite closer and closer to this location. Can Lone Wolf and the rest come in and try to provide them with that help?
ooh.
But there goes Chris. His vehicle does get blown up, or I think it's a grenade because Active Gaming are also within this position too as well.
This might fall a little bit short there. PlayStation 5. He is in a one versus plenty situation here, but Active Gaming will pull up. It's a 3 versus 3, I believe, and Surge will be the knocking champion here, getting PlayStation 5 knocked down and sent back into the lobby very quickly. Active Gaming pulling up, trying to wrest this position away from the guys from Dream Team. And here comes Skinny leading the charge. And TQ will take over from that position. They will be breaching. FBI, open up. First knock comes through. Chris will be sent back into the lobby very, very quickly. Rash will follow suit. And Active Gaming, 7 eliminations up. And it looks like they might just be looking for more. Archer will be the last one left in that scenario there for the guys from Dream Team. And Active Gaming will break through the barricade, through the barrage there, sending bullet after bullet onto the guys from Dream Team. But PlayStation, or rather Foul Play, will pull up as well, stealing another elimination from the guys from Active. Pro will get knocked away and sent back again, courtesy of Locane, trying to play the off angle, and it will not be working out just fine. But here comes Lone Wolf as well. Just north of that position is an interesting split coming in from the guys from Foul Play. It's an unfortunate setup, but the M16 will send TQ down to his knees immediately, as Foul Play will be using this advantage to play from the splits, and it might just get a little bit too tricky there. But unfortunately, Lone Wolf is going to find himself all alone in that engagement, because I do not see this revive coming through. Surge, the top G, will send it back into the lobby fire, and it's all left to Locane.
Yeah, absolutely. The boys from, Active Gaming playing that one quite well in that position and trying as much as possible to see if they can keep themselves alive in this game. But now here comes Dream Team. It is the last hopeful for Dream Team right there as Skinny does get that last bit of elimination. So the boys from Active Gaming now getting boosted all the way into that 9 bits of elimination coming through. And lovely stuff coming in from Active Gaming in that particular one. Definitely, they do have one casualty. The Spot Pro who did get them 2 of those eliminations too as well, but he got himself caught off guard. But speaking about getting caught off guard, there's still one player right here who might be getting into the conversation. It is the boy, Locane, who's also, quite in a distance from them, and he's not shaping up like he wants to pull away from the ups right there. He does look like he wants to still get 1 or 2 casualties before he gets sent backpacking into the lobby. They do have 1 elimination to their name, but we'll see, what he does in this one. What do you think he should do? Do you think he should, try to take one player with him, or just go off and try to get the placement point?
I mean, for the guys from Foul Play right now, based off of where they are on the leaderboard presently, I think it would be wiser, for him to stick it out, see how far he can take it, find somewhere central inside of the play zone, find a shack. Miramar shacks are very, very conducive, in this type of setup. It gets very, very conducive. So he should just find an interesting position where he can play defensively off of one of those shacks that's on top of the high ground, park his vehicle not too conspicuously, and then just hang into the shack at least for the time being, try to make it into that top 8 and be certain that, yes, he's going to have 1 extra point added, for the guys from Foul Play. At least they do have 1 point now. They didn't have any points coming into this game. So courtesy of himself as well, he did get the elimination, for the guys from Foul Play. So hopefully he will maintain that energy going forwards, but hopefully that's going to pan out. But 9 eliminations for Active, though, that is impressive. I believe that they've been doing a fantastic job holding out. And but again, they've lost 1 player, and that is the danger, of this game when you lose 1 player. But fortunately for them, they have a significant number of eliminations to back things up. So hopefully, they will be able to get some numbers more on the board. Coming into that final third, we've got 12 teams in the cut, 41 players, and there's a whole lot more of eliminations for Active Gaming. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how that one does continue, to build out for them. They're holding this position quite well, but your boy right there, Locane, is still trying as much as possible to be a thorn in their side, as he is currently holding, this position that could be occupied solely by the boys from Active Gaming, but he is continuing to torment them. He's sending on them shots. He's trying as much as possible to keep them at bay. As you can see right here, he's just within this position. He has sights on them, and it's quite an interesting position that he's holding, because if they do try to push onto him, he can take out all those players, and you can see he's paying quite a bit of attention right there towards that vicinity, to see if he can find himself a scapegoat. But we'll continue to see how this one does progress, as we're currently sitting down with 41 bodies in this particular game, and the teams are trying as much as possible to see if they can make the rotations into that zone. But take a look at where the zone is currently situated at, as right now we do see the boys from 21. We talk about them doing something for us. Can they have a better game in this particular one? Is sitting right there in that center in La Bendita, not too far away from the boys from 03, as well as Free Esports.
Ooh, that central area is it's quite interesting, though. 21st Century being in the central position, they're not necessarily the team that loves to play, center of the circle. It gets very crowded very, very quickly. I am loving the spread coming in from the guys from 10-11. Coming in from the north of Junkyard there, uncontested, I might add. You can see the eastern side Impala very, very free. And again, on the other end, you have the guys from First Arctics on that southern side. They might just be greeted by the guys from Men of Blood very, very shortly. There's a chance that might be happening, but OG Cole in that central position as well. He's still the last player, I believe, for the guys from Old Guards, and I believe the engagement was between them and Active Gaming, and they did manage to lose everyone else except Cole. So that is one of the reasons why I believe he has found himself somewhere in the central position. That was the idea I was giving, you to towards Locane, that he should do the same thing. I mean, take a look at Cole there. He's still inside of the play zone and he's still in a defensive position, holding out at least for the time being. But the play zone will move away. Afro Esports here, getting their hands dirty between themselves and Free Esports. Mando will get knocked away by Neo, and it looks like they might just be engaging in this fight fully. Spray from that southern side.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what that means at the end of the day. As a boys from Free Esports will be looking to see if they can hold on to their position with Mando currently knocked down. The boys from CLS are also, just rotating around this vicinity as the boys from Afro are looking to begin that approach. So it might be a three-way fight coming through between all of these guys right here. So you can see the shots already beginning to let loose. The boys from Afro Esports have now approached this position, and you can see that all three brothers are also in the mix of things as well themselves, looking to see if they can get into the fight up against the boys from Afro Esports. And Laser and the rest are trying as much as possible to keep their hopes alive in this game. With Peachy knocked down, Hunter's trying to see if he can get him back up. Peachy's the guy who's always making those entry knocks. He's the fragger, so obviously they'll be looking to see if they can get him back up in this position, but it's going to be quite tough as several different ops are currently just within this vicinity. And what do you think the boys from O3 should do? Should they push onto this location?
It is a very tricky scenario, Fortunately, Peachy will get swept away by Free Esports, actually, as Shiva was trying to get that confirmation, but Mando will beat him to it. Elimination point goes all the way to the guys from Free Esports there. That's a beautiful play. And Free Esports doing a fantastic job of defending that position, that compound that they have. They are a little bit squeezed up inside. It can get very tricky for them. But Afro Esports will be retreating from this engagement. It is so unfortunate, because they opened the floodgates for this engagement here, but it is them who lost the player. It's unfortunate, for Afro Esports. They got blown away, unfortunately, by a combination of O3 and Free Esports, and they were the ones who got the first knock actually onto the guys from O3 and Free Esports as well. But they just couldn't make anything of it. But O3 will be making their advance inside of that play zone this time around. Shiva in a beautiful what vehicle is this? A Tesla? What is this vehicle? Is it a Bugatti as well?
I think it is. I think it's a Bugatti.
So everybody just has this car. Everyone just has it.
Yes,
it's not only me that doesn't have it. Fire. What are you saying?
It's only 80,000. It's only 80,000. Do you know I was
80,000 what?
I was so pissed when
so
no, it's not. There was a time when I heard that people were selling it for 80K. I was so pissed. I was like, why did I wait? Because I first spinned and I was so unlucky. Yeah.
Wait, is a luck thing? Is it a luck thing?
Yeah. Okay,
I felt like you were guaranteed or something.
No. Yeah, there's a guarantee at some point, but you might spend let's say you can spend between $100 to $300 worth of UC. You understand? Between $100 to $300 worth of UC, you will get at least one Bugatti. So I should have gotten two things. Got me pissed. I should have gotten the Bugatti that is three. There's this, I don't know what it's called, but let me check all the coins. 3 Bugatti coins. I had one. I was trying to get. So I had one. I was trying to get the third one, but as I was spinning again, I was just totally unlucky. So I just gifted someone one. I didn't know people were selling. I swear to God, I didn't know people were selling it. See,
so
now,
they didn't do the one of 1.5 or something 5.15.
Bro, I didn't even know people were selling this thing. Next thing, I just came on the group. I saw people were selling. I was like, after I finished wasting money, people are now selling it.
You see. Well, I mean, if you see the one of 1.5, 2K, make I just use them guide. Even if you're renting, make I rent and use them enter street. But O3 and Ooh, active gaming though on the little bit of the western edge of the circle here. It could get very, very tricky for them. Cyclone Shield is not the team you want to play, edge of the circle maneuvers with. TQ should be wiser, but Skinny will pop a grenade inside and will catch Stoner. And now the guys from Active have an opening they've been looking for. They've got 10 eliminations. They've got 2 players up. It looks like a potential 2 versus 2, though, against the guys from Cyclone Shield. Again, another engagement pops right through. TQ just outside, looking for somewhere to breach inside. He's trying to find somewhere to enter from. But another grenade, again from Skinny, will catch Manny this time. And now Active Gaming, it looks like they might just be the ones to deal damage and send the guys from Cyclone Shield back into the lobby here. Danny Brown in the 1 versus 1 against TQ. 2 players that are capable of that 1 versus 1 scenario there. As TQ will head back, as Danny Brown will be swept away. Cyclone Shield out in 11th place, courtesy of Skinny. Skinny single-handedly eliminating Cyclone Shield. 2 grenades and a UMP after. Cyclone Shield go out in 11th place. 13 eliminations fire for Active Gaming. They are so active. Super, super active.
Man, absolutely amazing stuff coming through from the boys from Active Gaming right there, as they do find themselves with those mad eliminations, and it will be Skinny, who's coming through with the goods right there, as you do see him getting those elimination points, as he does have 6 of those to his name. But speaking about elimination points, let's take a look at where all of these teams are currently situated at. We do see the boys from First Actors rotating around the boys from MOB. We'll try and turn our sights quickly onto them, as we do see one of the players getting dropped right there to the ground, and it does look like a skirmish might now begin to ensue in this region, as we also do have the boys from 10 and 11 around this vicinity, and they'll be looking to see if they can get into the mix as well. But oh my goodness, look at that nade.
That one a bombastic. That one a bombastic side eye. Fantastic grenade from Men of Blood. They're landing right on the helm of the guys from First Arctic, sending both players to the ground there. And that will be the opportunity they've been looking for to get out of dodge. Crux is still going to be knocked away, and it looks like Agatha is here. After her transition away from the guys from 21st Century, looks like First Arctics will be at home, at least for the NPL finale. She's doing a fantastic job of holding out, but it is phase 5 of the circle, and you do not want to be outside around this time. Does need to hop back into that vehicle and find a brand new place to call home. Play zone will be shrinking and dealing more damage significantly per persona. Again, she has a lot of ground to cover. She might just claim... Yep, the play zone will claim her surely. Yep, that is the end for Agatha there. Unfortunately, First Arctics will be losing another player in this engagement.
Hey. My God. This Zone 2 OP. Zone 2 OP. Yomite trying to stay alive in this one, as he does use his last bit of meds, and now beginning to take on shots onto Fex. He does a lot of damage, as he does reduce him down to 1 HP, but it does look like Yomite is in that situation where he knows he's going to get taken out by the players, and is looking for that scapegoat. He's turning around, he's searching for it as much as he can. He drops straight down to the ground. But will that be enough? Will that be enough, as he does get sent back into the lobby?
Oh, wow. 0-3 doing a fantastic job. You can see Nexus in the feed is going to be eliminating the players from 21st Century. But I think Nexus just did a 1 versus 3 onto the guys from 21st Century, sending them all the way back into the lobby. Nexus, Agbafrioyo himself, you can tell from the feed, he was able to rid the lobby of 21st Century single-handedly in a 1 versus 3 scenario. Beautiful play. But now the guys from Men of Blood, 8 eliminations to them, now succumbing to danger coming in from the guys from 10-11 in a beautiful spread. They already have a player inside of that play zone, as God J will get that confirmation onto Rage. And 10-11 just breaching through that position, coming in from the northern side. And they are taking out the teams one after the other, 11, trying to find a place inside of that zone to call home. Just a little bit of an angle towards the southwestern side, or rather the southeastern side. Will be pulling up very close to the guys from 10-11. Surely they've heard his buggy pull up. 11 trying to deal damage onto the guys from 10-11. They're charging the grenade first to get an entry onto Bego from that northern side. Pops it just nicely, might just connect to does get him down to about 40 HP, or rather 30 HP, and another grenade to follow. And now is the guys from Men of Blood trying to take this engagement. It's a 3 versus 4, I believe, onto the guys from 10-11. But they do have the ridge line, and it might just take a little bit more than a couple of grenades to scare off the guys from 10-11 at least.
Now you can see the shots coming through at every single corner. The boys from Emma will be taking on fights at several different corners, as it will be the boys from 10-11 who are doing damage on several different corners. But here comes, the boys from 03 who are putting up, from another region as well, sending the shots onto that position where Sheikh is currently situated at. And it's a really tough one for all of these guys, as they are holding on to their life. Now we're down to, just 4 teams left in the lobby, and everyone is trying as much as possible to see if they can keep themselves alive in this game. But La Beast, curious to see how he's missing, the shots right there, Priest. I was thinking, like, maybe 4X is not your destiny. I mean, change it. My man. That 4X is not working. I'm joking, but I couldn't resist. Sorry.
I mean, the 4X requires a lot of more practice, but that's a beautiful spray from Nexus. You can see the difference. You can see the difference now between the 4Xs, between Nexus's own 4X and Labis 4X. You can see Nexus's own barely shakes a little bit there, but 03 do have 8 eliminations, 5 going to Nexus. Out of that, 8 doing a fantastic job. And here comes top 4 teams so far. Labis will catch Bad Boy teams from that I believe that western side, all of them fighting on the edge of the circle there. There might be a lot of work to do to get inside of that play zone. None of these teams actually have made it inside just yet, except the guys from 10-11, and it looks like this might just be their game. They're inching very, very closely inside of that play zone. Fex, you can see the monster truck in hand, and that will serve as cover and navigation for the rest of them. Shiva spotted, and a couple of shots sent right through immediately, but Bougie will catch the beast, knocks him clean off with the UMP, and now is the opportunity they've been looking for. But Vibe will be swept away actually by Shiva there with the Thompson, and another spray from Nexus catches him off guard, knocks clean Iceman, and that will be the end of the guys from Vibe. And now God J just pops into the scene right there, but Nexus exposes himself just a little bit too long. He's knocked clean off as well, and now 10-11 breaching through. Shiva, the last one up, trying to deal damage, but the numbers are just overwhelming. 10-11 will take that chicken dinner and put it in their pot.
And absolutely amazing stuff coming in from 10-11. Obviously not surprising to anyone who is watching them, but you just have to give it to all of those teams right there who did get themselves more than 10 eliminations. Just take a look at it. It is the boys from 03 who did get themselves 11 eliminations, as well as the boys from Active Gaming who did come out on top with 14 eliminations to their name. Also, what note of mentioning, this is also the boys from MLB who did get themselves, 8 of those eliminations. So great stuff coming through right here, as we are seeing everyone just hold on as much as they can in this beautiful games in the MPL. Remember, guys, to hit that like and hit that subscribe. Let's get ready to go for the next 2 games that we do have on ground right here. I mean, what do you expect from this team's first?
I mean, that was a performance, coming in from 10-11. Fantastic work. They did get 11 eliminations, but so did the guys from 03 as well, So the chicken dinner will be the booster, for them. They will be chasing each other though, neck and neck, surely, once the leaderboard pops right through. So it's very impressive to see, how they've been able to manage, that performance. But let's not forget about the guys from Vibe. Once again, they are in the top 3. Unfortunately, they did not get eliminations to back it this time around, but they are still in the running. They got a couple of points, inside there as well. Old guards, Cole did manage to get into that top four, and he did exactly what I talked about. He found himself a little spot inside of that play zone, very early, a central position, holding off and holding out for the longest of times. And that was just enough. Fantastic job from OG, making to that top four, getting a couple of points, not getting shut out as well. Men of Blood doing equally a fantastic job, 8 eliminations to boot. And it looks like all of these teams, their strategies are starting to, come out to play. And hopefully we will be seeing significantly more, performances coming into the next game. So, yeah.
All right, lovely, lovely stuff, guys. You have heard it right there from Priest himself. So, in the meantime, we'll be taking a quick break and we'll be right back for some more action. For now, let's take some notes from our sponsors and see you guys in a couple of moments.
Hello guys, my name is IOTG Oluwashom. My in-game name is 03nexus018. I'm the current leader at the IGL of O3 Brothers. Yeah, we finished first place in the last season of MPL. And then our experience in the tournament was very, very good because it was a nice competition, so we could learn new things, we could learn how to rotate and new strats, and then it paid off well. And we hope you guys can get us a better stream and then increase the price pool. That was all. Thank you very much. Thank you Carbon, thank you 1080, thank you MPL. God bless. Hello guys, my name is IOTG Oluwashom. My in-game name is 03nexus018. I'm the current leader at the IGL of O3 Brothers. Yeah, we finished first place in the last season of MPL. And then our experience in the tournament.
Do you think you've got what it takes? The challenge will be tougher than ever.
I'll be road to Romania. right, guys. So now we'll be taking a look at the current leaderboards and see where everybody is positioned. And we do see things just edging quite close all the way on the top of that leaderboard right there. We're seeing the boys from 10-11 leading the park with 29 points right there. As they did get themselves that winner chicken dinner, but you can't rule out the boys from 03 as well, who are just trailing by 3 points, as well as the boys from Active Gaming, who did get themselves a whole lot of elimination points in that last game. Find themselves in that third spot, and just behind them are the boys from Vibe Gaming. So what do you think about this one, Priest?
I mean, 10-11 stepping up to the plate finally, as I knew they could. But 03 not giving them any breathing room. Nobody wants to get blown out of proportion in this final, and it is the first day, so everyone is putting their best foot forward. You start how you want to finish. 03 active, 10-11 already starting strong. Vibe also in the mix as well, 20 something points. All of these 4 teams not letting anyone surpass them with a significant point difference. But unfortunately, Old Guard, Cyclone Shield, Men of Blood, and Afro Esports, all of these teams need to step up to the plate. They need, to get their hands dirty and get some significant points on the board as well. But, First Arctics, unfortunately, foul play, no rage esports, 21st century. They need to wake up. They need to get something doing. And it's just unfortunate that they found themselves, on this side of the leaderboard, this early in the finale. I was expecting a different kind of performance, coming into this final stage. But, it is what it is. It is day one. Maybe the strategies haven't started to align just yet, but going into, maybe tomorrow and the last day, we might see some improvements.
All right, we'll definitely keep an eye on that as we'll be moving straight into the games and see, where all of these teams are currently situated in as they will be gearing in, for this third game right here. We do see that map cutting through across that center, moving all the way towards that region around Hot Springs. And curiously, we don't see any team, landing in those positions, and we do see them, having those spaces. Now, personally speaking, man, I personally do not like Vikendi. I hate Vikendi. I don't know. From a caster's perspective, from a player's perspective, it is my worst map. You know why? Ask me why.
Why?
It takes too long. It takes too long.
It takes too long. Does Vikendi
I'm telling you,
long?
see, what it takes so long because it does because there's so right down to the very end. Yeah, just watch this game. Right, except one of those freak games happens and there's a lot of water or something like that. But there's just so many buildings and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, you can see one small circle. Everybody's just in buildings fighting each other, and you know how it is when the zone doesn't finish in the open. Right, it takes a long time for it to end. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
It's about breaking the yoke. You just gotta break that yoke, break the chain. Break that chain and then change the dynamic of the game. That's what you have to do. Break that yoke and change the dynamic of the game. That is what is very, very important, in this stage. But again, it might just require a whole lot of brand new strategies, coming into this particular style of play in Vikendi. Most of these teams necessarily did not play a lot of Vikendi. So, it could be more, it could be less. But again, it is Vikendi. There's buildings, there's a lot of buildings everywhere. You might just decide to play it safe, going into the final games or going to the final, circle, and hopefully that works out for the rest of your team and works out for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll continue to keep an eye on that and see how this one does work out for, all of these teams right here. But Peachy getting one of those eliminations coming through for his team up against the boys from OG. Now, OG in this game, they've not had things, quite easy so far for themselves. It has been, a tough game. They've come in slot, onslaught against, teams like, 10-11. They've come against teams like the boys from Active Gaming who are just, right now on on putting their best foot forward. They've also come up against the boys from 03, and they've not had it quite as easy as they did in the qualifying stages. I mean, they were one of the best teams during the qualifying periods. Do you think somehow the nerves are getting to them, Priest?
I mean, who wouldn't the nerves get to, though? That is the real question. Who wouldn't the nerves get to? Who wouldn't the nerves get to? This is the finale of the NPL. A 1 million naira prize pool for grabs. I mean, you have to bring your A game, because for a fact every single person is going to bring their A game. Most of these teams, they've not played at this level before. There's a couple of brand new teams that this will be their first NPL, and I'm talking about the kind of teams like Lock and Lobby, Afro Esports. They've not played at this level of the NPL before, so for a fact that there might be more. I think No Rage as well. So a couple of teams as well have not played in the NPL before. This is their first time, so they know that there's a lot of pressure that's involved. And Afro Esports is one of those teams. I don't know if there's a strategy coming in here that they want to utilize and try to get a significant number of engagements, or I would say maybe a backtracking type of style, coming into the finale. But I was quite impressed with them still. But again, Old Guards is one of those older teams. They've been in the NPL for a significantly, I think, 3 seasons in, and it's been very, very impressive watching them grow, watching them get better over time, courtesy of, Chief and, Monga. Brand new roster here still, Cole and Pedri. I believe this is the first time I'm seeing them, this season of the NPL. So, a couple of teams, so many teams out here, switching roster, switching teams, players rather, switching teams, moving from place to place, So I don't know if that breeds consistency, but it is one of those things that the NPL is always going to advocate for, more Nigerian players, creating more teams, enjoying PUBG Mobile at its finest, and looking forward to more competitive setups, and big shout out to the NPL. And let's not forget La Coupe d'Africana fire. Have you heard?
No, what have I not heard?
La Coupe d'Africana. I heard, something is brewing this season. I heard something is cooking. La Coupe d'Africana, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. If you've not heard it before, you've heard it now. I heard something, along the lines of La Coupe d'Africana. I mean, Fire, you remember La Coupe d'Africana now, the first season?
Absolutely. It was one of the, all out, African. Would I say it was even sub-Sahara? Because I think it included some other regions apart from sub-Saharan Africa as well.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Yeah, so it was the first all-out, African, PMCO style competition that was held, and it would be nice to see, how all of the teams can begin to perform again. It'd be lovely to see some PMPL and maybe some PMCO teams come on board. But speaking about teams, they had the boys from Foul Play, just inching quite closer to the boys from 10-11 right there as the shots are already beginning to let loose. We also see, the boys right there from 03 getting themselves a knock, but staying on and focused into this fight. Got here and these boys, they can see if they can get one elimination coming through. PlayStation popping on what I do believe is a smoke in that particular region, trying as much as possible to see if he can block their line of sight. But there's also, one player from 10-11 that, PlayStation has got to be careful of, who is just, far away all the way on his western side. And Priest, this one, is looking quite sticky for the boys from Foul Play.
Is that Vikendi madness, this rotation surely from the guys from Foul Play. They did not expect 10-11 to be in this position, but they are out trying to deal with it head on, not showing any weakness, because there are some teams, when they make their rotation and they run into you, things start to get very, very tricky. Things start to fall apart already. As you can see there, Locane will get dusted immediately there by Bego. 10-11 already on the upper hand here. PlayStation 5 on that southern side. He has to be careful, though. I believe they do have one of the players outside on that western side, as you called it earlier. And PlayStation 5 might get spotted very, very early and knocked away by Shregs there. And another spray, beautiful spray from Bego, actually. Will catch PlayStation 5 this time. And now it's all left to Lone Wolf And now is the opportunity for the guys from 1011 to swarm right through. PlayStation 5 will be confirmed very, very shortly. And 1011 on the upper hand once again. Bego will steal yet another one. And another PlayStation, or rather foul play, doing their absolute best. But Bego and the rest of the guys from 1011 will be pulling up to the scene there. That's a nice spray from Lone Wolf. Will try to cut Bego down again, pops right through. But God J will be there with the UMP to sweep him back into the lobby. Like those Bean vibes, you know.
Amazing stuff coming in from the boys from 10-11 right there, as they do get those eliminations coming through in this one. They do find themselves all the way on top of that leaderboard so far, and they are, just edging all the way on top of that leaderboard more and more. With those points, they continue to boost them up. But speaking about points that continue to boost them up, several different teams are, also continuing on the fight right there. So we did see the boys from Afro get some knocks coming through against the boys from MOB.
Defining moments here for Afro Esports. A couple of sprays again from 11. The Men of Blood trying to advance to that position, one after the other. They tried to pop right through. Neo will be dropped all the way down to about 25 HP, and Peachy will be coming in just from that southern or that rear end side. But Peachy will send a couple of shots towards Rage there to give a little bit of a warning. And now the guys from Men of Blood will have a little bit of a interesting scenario in here. They have a split focus, and that is the beauty of having a split, splitting the focus of your ops, of your enemies, having them fight on various fronts. But Magic will expose himself just a little bit by the door there. Peachy will spray and catch him and send him a little bit of a warning there, just for him to fall all the way back. But Afro Esports need to be very decisive in how they want to make this advance here. Again, Magic is exposing himself just a little bit too much there, and it would be wiser for the guys from Afro Esports to crash through that opening, though. That would be a wiser, opening for them to crash through. Peachy can just give them a little bit of a warning there, and it will give him a little angsty trigger finger from 11. Peachy peeks up again. 11 will warn him not to try it again. And Afro Esports will have a little bit of a tough time if they do want to take this advance. If they do want to take this a push, they would need to do a whole lot more than just, shooting from the distance. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting a significantly better performance, from Afro Esports, but then Peachy doing his absolute best just to keep himself clear of the guys from Men of Blood. But 10-11, I believe, will just be pulling up very, very shortly there. And Afro Esports might just be in a little bit of trouble here because they do not have all their players. And that is the danger of playing a split. You could get caught out very, very easily there. And no other than 10-11 as well, being the team that does get you caught out. They are in a 2-2 split, though. Bego and Godje just playing behind of Fex and Shregs there. Could get very, 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 very unsanitary for the guys from Afro Esports. And now Men of Blood will be pulling up as well. It looks like this might just be a three-way battle. 10-11, Men of Blood and Afro Esports. It looks like something might just start to cook here. There's a whole lot of bodies around. Magic will be pulling up very, very closely, but the guys from 10-11 will respond in kind. Creed knocked away, sent back into the lobby so quickly, but Bego instead will fall immediately, following suit from Magic. A couple of sprays towards the north. Again, he sprays right through. Might just do the trick and advance from the guys from Men of Blood. 10-11 feeling the brunt of the pressure right now. Afro Esports still in the in the mix of the vicinity, but Godje will spray back, catches Magic, knocks him clean off, and now Shrek is there, gets the confirmation. Surely he will follow through, but here comes 11 and the rest of the guys from Men of Blood doing their absolute best to hold on. And the revive onto Magic will come through here, but the guys from 10-11 have a whole lot of work to do. Afro Esports still lurking around, and Laser is there, catches Bego, knocks him clean off, and now is the opportunity for Afro Esports to do another thing. Hunter hunting again, Shrex falls, and he is going to send it back into the lobby. Afro Esports doing the Lord's work again. Fex will be the object of desire this time around. Grenade starts to cook right now. Laser might pop through another one. He is going to catch Bego, knocks him down immediately as well. Fex knocked as well. 10-11 swept back into the lobby, courtesy of Afro Esports. Wrong place, wrong time, Fire. Absolutely wrong place, wrong time.
Man, absolutely right there. It was from 10 and 11 coming into the fight, not fully understanding the entire terrain, and just being in that onslaught between the boys from Afro Esports as well as the boys from MOB. The firepower coming in from 11 and his boys as well as Peachy and his boys just proved to be too much for the boys from 10 and 11 in that one, and they obviously will be looking to see if they can provide a better performance in that last game. But taking a look at this particular one right here, the boys from Afro Esports doing quite well for themselves. They do hold quite a good position within that edge. They'll be looking to see if they can now begin to make those rotations into that zone. But my goodness, what a game coming on for them. But speaking about games coming through, it is also the boys from
I mean, O3 might have a little work to do, at least, to put themselves on that top end, that top form. But it would be very impressive to see, how the guys from Afro Esports will be able to manage. They've gotten themselves, at least this is their best performance, coming in into today's game so far. It is very impressive, seeing how they've been able to, come right through there with 5 eliminations, and it looks like they've started to find their groove. I have been rooting for them so far, so it's a big one coming in for Afro Esports. But the play zone is a little bit towards that eastern side. Podvosto, Cement Factory, and Peshkova still in play. Cosmodrome swept out. The north looking very interesting, though. Afro Esports and the guys from Men of Blood still playing side by side. But then again, it could get very dangerous, once teams start to play that side by side type of action. And again, Afro Esports are very, very wary. They do know that the guys from Men of Blood are here. They are trying to box them out. I'm loving the plays here. And a couple of sprays from Laser. He does show his hand. And now Afro Esports have a little bit of work to do here. If they can box out the guys from Men of Blood, it would work in their favor. They do have the numbers advantage. It's a potential 4 versus 3. And they do have a lot of play zone to work with, at least for the time being. Could work. It could do exactly what they need to. But then the guys from Men of Blood, they need to make a conscious decision here. Do we move out of this position, or do we deal with the immediate threat of Afro Esports? Decisions. This could be the defining point for the guys from Men of Blood. Here comes 11. I don't know if he's trying to get on the roof there. It could get very dangerous, though. He might just get spotted out. But a grenade, actually, from Neo will connect. And now, Men of Blood in serious danger. Magic has been knocked away. And it's a 2 versus 4. Peachy will be taking the advance one after the other. And a confirmation from Peachy will work. 6 eliminations, Afro Esports. And it starts to cook again. A fantastic grenade from Peachy this time. He's dismantling Men of Blood one after the other with a grenade nonetheless. But here comes Rage. Jackpine from that scenario there. Because if it was me, I would do the exact same thing.
Just doing absolutely well for themselves, as they have continued on with 7 of those eliminations coming through. But guys, in the meantime, do remember to hit that like, hit that subscribe, smash it right there.
you need to get over this. You need to get over this Vikendi hate. I mean, I love Vikendi. The snow map gives me so much joy. I remember when I used to. I mean, I play. This is not about me. It is not about me. It's not about me. It's about Vikendi. Vikendi is a joyful map. Really, I enjoy the map. But then I remember when I used to, play it with my teammates back then. Pushing for points. It was always a very fun map because, utilities and all of that. It was very very easy, to play this map based off of the fact that I did love to play compound defense. So it just promotes compound defending. Really, it doesn't do much more than that. But again, it is very impressive seeing the guys from Afro Esports getting their hands very very dirty in this game. 7 eliminations to them. They are significantly leading the pack, for the rest of the teams, and now they've set their sights on 21st century. 21st century will be the next team to feel the brunt or feel the damage coming through from Afro Esports. It is a potential 4 versus 4 cooking right now. I don't know if they would take this advance though. In 21st century, super defensive team when it comes to holding out those compound areas. They do not necessarily need to overextend too much, but Vibe will be coming in from that southern side again. There's so much work to be done still, but hopefully the guys from Vibe will not get caught out on rotation, because that is the danger, of Vikendi getting caught out on rotation, especially this late in the circle. I mean, Afro Esports. I said it earlier. I've been rooting for Afro Esports so far, in this Vikendi game, because I remember seeing them perform exceptionally, during the qualifiers and the league stages when it came to Vikendi, in the Super Weekend. So I was very impressed, with the way that they play this, especially, how they managed to, navigate these positions. Of course, it is also equally impressive how the rest of the teams holdouts as well. The play zone is at least 200 meters out for Afro Esports. They do have a little bit of ground to cover if they are going to be making those rotations. 21st century is still blocking their way, so they need to find either through or around. Something has to be done. Either they go through 21st century, or they go around 21st century, or they wait for 21st century to make a rotation inside of the play zone, because all of these teams are by the edge. It's only Dream Team, I believe, that is inside of the center of the circle right now. So all of these teams, the play zone, it's so tricky though, allowing the play zone to dictate your fate. But I believe Afro Esports will be taking this advantage here as Ace just pops his head right outside the window there. He will get a couple of warning shots sent his way, but Afro Esports will pull up to the scene though. And I believe they do want to take this engagement though. They will be pulling up very shortly there. Hunter spotted a couple of sprays from Ace. We'll give him a little bit of a warning there as well. But fortunately, they will be able to, play around this area. But it looks like Afro Esports do want to take this breach. And now is the opportunity they've been looking for. Will they make those eliminations turn from 7 to 11?
Ooh, baby will be the boy who does drop down laser, opening up this fight right here. Where the boys right there for 21, they can do some for us. They can take out the last player right there from Afro Esports, as they do come up against Hunter. But Hunter is cooking right here, as he does find himself dropping down some extra bodies. But here comes Pharaoh. Pharaoh is still putting up the work in this particular game. He can take out
Yeah, it was the pleasure, and I told you, 21st century, when it comes to playing defensive positions around the compound, they would always choose, to be defensive. It was very good, using the utilities. 21st century, Roy and Baby doing a fantastic job of repelling the guys from Afro Esports. Unfortunately, Peachy was a thorn in their side, and he was able to use, the high ground coming on top of the roof there. Fantastic play from Peachy, getting a couple of eliminations on his back there before getting blown away. But unfortunately, there, Kenny will spray through the cracks there, will catch a Salam, knocks him clean off, and he might just get the confirmation to boot as well. Beautiful spray from Kenny. Vibe trying to breach through there onto the guys from Norway Sports. The ground floor trying to be swept through there by Vibe. Kenny just looking for an entry position. They've got 3 eliminations. It looks like they might just be getting for more. Alpha, jump shot, fantastic stop. Catches Iceman on the left-hand side, but Bougie will pop a grenade and will knock Alpha clean down as well. No Ray G Sports in a tricky scenario here. I believe they've got one player up inside, and it is going to be Top G trying to fend off and trying to fight for his life there. Vibe and Bougie and all the way down to about 10 HP, trying to navigate through that position. You can hear, Top G's feet pattering through. And they are the guys from Vibe just looking for that entry, looking for Top G, trying to eliminate him, send him back into the lobby. The grenade's already starting to cook right there. Might just pop right through from upstairs, but it doesn't connect. At the ground floor again, being swept through by Kenny. But the play zone might just be the deciding moment there. Ferro, unfortunately, is going to be knocked away, and the play zone will claim him as Baby drives away into the distance. And now there might just be a little bit more time for the guys from 21st Century to survive, at least for the longest time. But hopefully, Baby will get the job done, at least for the time being, for the guys from 21st Century.
No, definitely. But now we turn our sights onto the boys from Vibe Gaming as they do get those eliminations coming through up against the boys from Rage. And here's where everyone now is cooking. They're beginning, to let loose, and that zone is, getting smaller and smaller. And a lot of these guys will be looking to see how, they can perform. Of these teams, and we'll be seeing Surge going in for that revive before the boys from Dream Team look to pull up onto this location where the boys from Active Gaming are currently situated at. There's so many different teams around them. The boys from Active Gaming have not gotten themselves into any action so far like they did in the previous game, but they do find themselves in a position right here where they can continue to get those placement points coming through. There's also Knocker Lobby, who's not too far away from them, looking to see if they can get into the action to themselves. But who are you rooting for, Priest? Who do you think has it in the bag in this one?
There's so many teams doing a fantastic job of holding out, but I do believe the guys from Dream Team looking very, very strong. I believe they have 4 players up, and they are going to be sweeping that eastern side very, very shortly. But Knock and Lobbies, very, very impressive so far. We've got 3 eliminations. They do have 3 players still in the cut here. Elixir drives a little bit too close to the rock. Will form cover for him. The rest of the guys from Knock on Lobby just are playing from behind, trying to find somewhere inside of that play zone to navigate through from. The play zone still hot on their heel, but they do have a little bit of it to work with, at least for the time being. But Vibe trying to rid themselves of the guys from Cyclone Shield Esports there. And ooh, that's a beautiful spray from Bougie. Will catch Stoner, knocks him clean off. And another grenade from Kenny might just do the trick there to seal the deal from Cyclone Shield. But Stoner will be confirmed immediately though. And I don't know how much time will be involved there, courtesy of the guys from Vibe onto Cyclone Shield Esports. There might just be a little bit of a time to get the job done there, as Kenny will be sealing the deal, sending the guys from Cyclone Shield back into the lobby to sweep 7 eliminations for Vibe. And it looks like they might just be cracking into that top 10. Those are double-digit eliminations very, very significantly, very, very soon.
All right, so the boys from Vibe Gaming are not done in this one. They still have a lot to say in this particular game as they turn the sights onto the boys right there from Dream Team. And you can see Rash and Chris have currently been dropped down, and they continue on with their onslaught. Now, Archer from Dream Team is all the way on another side, continuing on in a fight up against the boys from Active Gaming. But a couple of the players right here are getting, taken down. And here's where things now continue on to get like super interesting as the boys, from Active Gaming have lost Skinny all the way on the other end. They've got Rage right there in front of them. The boys from MOB, and everyone's trying as much as possible to see if they can get themselves into a great spot within that zone. It's such a very choked up, tight, open position. Now, we've talked about Vikendi being that map that is usually, very, choked up with buildings, but now we're seeing it. We're seeing. I'm left to eat my words, Priest, because now it goes into pretty much what is one of the few open spots in this zone.
Yeah, Knock and Lobby will be getting rid of the guy, last player for Men of Blood there, as they set their sights now onto the guys from First Arctics. Agathe will be on the receiving end as well, but Agbalagba are getting knocked clean off as well by your might. And might just be the opportunity the guys from First Arctics have been looking for. But Vibe will be making the advance inside from this position, from that eastern position as well, making the advance. But Baby will catch one of the guys from Vibe unawares there, and he pops a couple of shots right through, exposes himself just a little bit too much, but they're making the advance. Pops right through the right, but he is going to be swept away by Kenny. Vibe, 11 eliminations, and they might just be looking for more here. Beautiful play coming in from the guys from Vibe Gaming, and now the only team standing between them and another chicken dinner is Knock and Lobby. Kenny breathing forward. Alexa still knocked away, and now is the opportunity they've been looking for. The confirmation from Bougie will come through as well, and here comes Captain sending a couple of shots right through. He is going to catch Kenny, knocks him clean off with the M416, falls behind cover again. Beautiful position coming in from Captain. Knock and Lobby starting to knock, but will they be able to lobby? Now is the opportunity they've been looking for. Iceman trying to breach right through in a 1 versus 1. The grenade from Captain might just connect, but he's dealing in a 1 versus 2 here. It might just be too much to handle. Pops a grenade from the right hand side and switches to the farther right, and again he's going to try. Pops a couple of shots again, but he's not going to connect. He might just decide to fall under the play zone there, but he has been spotted on the rock there. Iceman tries him again, but he is going to cut Iceman down to about 40 HP, but Iceman will be the better man to get that chicken dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, Vibe, 2 chicken dinners out of 4 and 13 eliminations. Fire. Now that is a performance.
Yeah, absolutely amazing stuff coming through for the boys from Vibe Gaming in that one, as they did get themselves 13 eliminations and a chicken dinner. Definitely, that might just be boosting them all the way through into the top of the NPL Finals Day 1. Man, absolutely amazing stuff coming through for the boys right there from Vibe Gaming. Whew. Vibe Gaming, cooking, seriously, man.
Man, I will lie, I did not expect this performance coming in from Vibe today. 3 games, Vibe have been top 3. In the past 3 games, they have been in the top 3. Now that says a lot. 2 chicken dinners out of 3 games. Beautiful performance coming from Vibe. It's too impressive. I'm a big fan now. Kenny, Iceman, all of them stepping to the plate. Beautiful stuff coming in from the guys from Vibe. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing if they will do, a retain to complete the day in the final game of Aranjo. That would be very, very impressive. But, the leaderboard will look very, very caked up, very, very choked up. I'm yet to see O3, do some chicken dinner doings right now. But, I'm ready to see some more action, going into the final game. I'm super impressed, with Vibe. They just surprised me so far. I'm not even gonna say too much of anything. Let me not, rain on their parade, but it is very, very impressive so far. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the NPL. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. It is what it is. We'll be taking a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll take a look at the current leaderboards and see where all of these teams are positioned and situated at. We'll take a few moments. We'll take a look at some adverts from our sponsors and be right back for our last game of the night. See you in a moment. All right, guys. So we're back for some more action. We're heading into our final game of the night. It is a game that's going to be all the way in Erangel. So I mean, Chris, how do you feel about this game so far?
I mean, it is Erangel, I don't know I don't know if we call it Erangel. Is it Erangel or Erangel? Because GEL is gel, but that's just by the way, just one of those things. But yeah, I mean, we saw Vibe Gaming take the first chicken dinner in the first game today, which was this same Erangel map. So, I'm looking forward to see if Vibe can keep that winning streak. But again, the leaderboard will tell us a story. So let the leaderboard tell us the story it wants to tell us right now as we look at the leaderboards and give ourselves a little bit of an idea of how these teams have been performing so far. 46 points for Vibe Gaming, significantly clear of the rest of the other teams, at least by a deficit of 12 points away from the guys from 10-11. It is quite impressive, though. 10-11 did get eliminated significantly earlier in the game, but somehow they're still in second place owing to the fact that they had a banger of a performance and a chicken dinner, earlier. But O3 Brothers still in the running forward, Active Gaming just hot on their heels, and finally Afro Esports coming in clutch. So Fire, you already see now most of those teams are starting to separate themselves, from the rest of the batch there. And hopefully, we'll see if those teams will be able to, maintain this concurrent performance so far. And I'm talking about teams like 10, 11, O3, Active, and Vibe. Will they, finish this particular last game stronger than they started it?
Quite closer and closer right there in Milta towards the boys from No Gaming. We might see, some action come in, between them right there. It does look like they're already beginning on the onslaught as you do see one of the players right there for No Gaming, getting put down to the ground. And it will be the boy Bibbs who does get, knocked down, and you can see Laser making that push, and he wants to, get those eliminations coming through as Keys and the rest of the players are currently, swimming for their life and trying as much as possible to get out of the ops right there.
Dangerous position for guys from No Gaming. And the No Gaming have not necessarily been having the best of games so far because they're currently sitting down there in 14th place. They do have 4 points to their name so far in the past 3 games. And it is an unfortunate scenario there for them. But Neo will spray into the water and he will get some hit markers. And he will do a little bit of a job there for the guys from No Gaming. But now Bibbs will bleed out and succumb to his injuries. And the first elimination there will go through for the guys from Afro Esports. It will be courtesy of Laser, as Keys will drown a little bit there. Does he choose to drown though? Would that be the? I think it's to deny the elimination. For the guys from Afro Esports. It would be to deny that elimination, and it looks like there's a potential there for a lot of work to be done. But Peachy will head into the water with a speedboat just to look for more eliminations onto the guys from No Gaming. So you can see Afro Esports already have a strategy here. They want to hit the ground running, but Neo has to be careful. He might just run into... Oh, yes, he does run into Guns, and Guns will knock him clean off and might just be able to get that confirmation onto him immediately as well. As it's a 1-for-1 trade there, No Gaming will get another one knocked away. And Afro Esports are down to 3 players. But Laser will pull up to the scene as well. Wants to take the 1-versus-1 against Guns there. But Guns will head out of dodge, trying to escape from that position. But there you go, turning your back to the ops. As he turns his back to Laser, and Laser will laser him through. Major Laser with that Bison doing a fantastic job of getting another knock onto the guys from No Gaming. And this is not the way the guys from No Gaming wanted to start this game, but Peachy will get that confirmation as Afro Esports will be up to eliminations fire.
Yeah, the boys from Afro Esports getting those eliminations coming through, but definitely having some casualties of their own as well as they start off the game ground running, but obviously will be really, losing one of their players in this particular game. But speaking about losing players and position. easiest of games so far today. Find themselves in that center right next to the boys from MOB.
Men of Blood. They've been trying to find their footing, so far. They are currently sitting in ninth place on the leaderboard, but they are not too far away from fifth place. Actually, they're just 2 points away. Actually, from fifth place, currently occupied by the guys from Afro Esports, 15 to 17 points. But the leaderboard right now, the way it's looking is it's quite tricky though. The top four teams in a different echelon from the bottom, 16. And there's a whole lot of work, that the rest of these teams need to put up. Speaking of like teams like Men of Blood, they've been having a little bit of like I said, difficulty finding their footing, finding the strategy they want to play through with. But Free Esports as well, equally trying to find their own footing. They've got 7 points on the board right now. They're currently sitting in 13th place, and they're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, we'll see how this one continues to, play out. We do see Magic jumping down from the building right there, trying to see if he can get a good spot. But there's also the boys from Free Esports who are waiting, for this opportunity. Mando and his boys are just looking for that, that extra bit of opportunity to see if they can get those knocks. Mando's, just chilling on top of that building right next to the boy Magic right there, and both of them are just waiting for that one slight chance to take on them, to take on the next player right there. But what a tough one. But I'm just going to show you guys something for now. Look at how far no Rusty has had to swim away from the boys from Afro. Wow,
that's that Michael Phelps, that is that Michael Phelps coming into play. But Free Esports on the receiving end of some bantering from the guys from Men of Blood. Mando will be the one to fall a little bit there, courtesy of Creed. But the confirmation will not flow through. The smoke's already starting to come out. Fantastic utilities usage there coming in from the guys from Free Esports. But Creed will be leading the advance. He's pushing forwards, trying to find an entry there. Magic just strolling in behind. The guys from Men of Blood looking forwards, looking ahead. They are looking for an opening there to deal damage onto the guys from Free Esports. 11 is on that eastern side, and he might just pop, lock, and drop a couple of players as well. Here comes Mando, still looking very strong there. Finally able to get his HP all the way back up though for Free Esports. It would be very difficult there to have them cornered in. There is a lot of work to be done here. Oh, that's a nice spray through to Mando. They're trying to catch him off guard as the rest of the guys from Men of Blood will try to make the advance one after the other. But Mando just finds a little corner, backs himself inside. And now it's the opportunity they've been looking for. The guys from Men of Blood advancing one after the other, spreading through. But Free Esports on the receiving end of this pressure coming in from the guys from Men of Blood. They're looking in, just trying to find another opening. Rumsey has been tagged up there to about 10 HP. And again, they spray right through. Creed trying to pop through the corner there. And no one, an unfortunate scenario there. Rumsey will grenade himself. And Jagaban will fall immediately to the guys from Men of Blood. Ray doing a fantastic job there, but fantastic spray from Hawkeye. And again, he pops right through, but he is going to be dropped off immediately by 11. And that's a fantastic play coming in from the guys from Men of Blood, taking the fight to the guys from Free Esports, and that will be the end. Beautiful play coming in from Men of Blood there, Fire. I mean, 3 eliminations, clean off, dusted beautifully by Men of Blood.
Man, absolutely amazing stuff coming through right there. Dinner well served by the boys from MOB as they did get themselves those bits of eliminations in this particular game. We'll continue to see what that does mean for all the teams as we're down to 16 of those. And definitely, one of the strong opponents has been taken out of the game. But let's quickly take a look and see where all of this team. Afro.
Afro Esports getting into a little bit of a skirmish there with the guys from Active Gaming. TQ will be knocked away as Skinny just makes the advance one after the other. But that's an interesting advance here coming in from Afro Esports. They are taking the fight to the guys from Active. Skinny pops a little bit too short, and Peachy will get him through and are running over. Following suit as well, as Skinny will be confirmed. TQ confirmed as well. And somehow the fight again getting extra crispy there, but Peachy will be spotted. But Prop Pro tries to spot right through, but Laser will laser him immediately there with the M4, drops him to his knees. And now all of a sudden, Active Gaming down to one player. It is going to be Surge, the top G. I don't know if he's going to hightail it and get out of dodge, but Afro Esports doing a fantastic job of berating the guys from Active Gaming, losing one player one at a time. Beautiful play from Afro Esports. Terrain, fantastic. You know, the way they were able to maintain the terrain is just absolutely fantastic. Surge has to move out of dodge, find somewhere else to call home. And Active Gaming, unfortunately, will be losing 3 players to the guys from Afro Esports.
Yeah, Active Gaming not in a very great situation right there. As the boys from Afro Esports do put in the work right there and take down a couple of their players. Boys from Afro Esports are currently situated at.
And now Afro Esports, they've got 5 eliminations, currently leading the charts. But they have lost Neo. So all of their engagements from this point forward will be as a 3-man team. But that has not seemed to stop them so far. They've been able to decimate everything in their wake, starting with the guys from No Gaming, moving on to Active. And they do have a fantastic position inside of that zone. But 21st Century, it looks like they might just be pulling in from the southern edge there. So they do have to be careful, though, as Peachy tries to navigate through, moves a little bit too close for comfort. But I don't know if they're aware of the arrival of the guys from 21st Century. Things might just get very, very tricky for them. Ooh, another spray comes right through there, and he pops and locks and drops. Pharaoh pops a couple of shots. Hunter will get knocked away by Roy, and that's a beautiful, beautiful use of the terrain right there. Pharaoh might just pop again. Molotov cocktail goes outside. Might just connect to Peachy, but it falls a little bit short. Peachy sprays again, tries to pop right through. Ace is going to get knocked, but Peachy follows suit. Roy doing a fantastic job, getting another one down again, as Afro Esports down to just one player. It is going to be Laser, and Laser will now have to perform some miracles here in a 1 versus 4 against the guys from 21st Century, but he has to be careful. The moment he pops his head over, Roy is ready to shoot it clean off. A beautiful play from 21st Century taking the advance, but I think it was a matter of, you know, Afro Esports not being aware, you know, that 21st Century just pulled up to the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. The boys right there from Afro Esports, you know, not being aware, like you said, that the upset are obviously put up onto this location, and now all they can do is just hop into the vehicle and just move away. Try as much as possible to get those placement points. I mean, they put in the work in this particular game. They got themselves 5 eliminations so far. And I'm not going to say that is enough for them to get into, you know, a great spot on the entire leaderboard, but the best that Laser can hope for is to continue to rack up those placement points and get into a good spot within the zone.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about you know, the mindset that comes through, you know, going into the next phase of the circle right now for Afro Esports. It is an unfortunate scenario here, but Laser will find somewhere else to crash into. You know, if I was him, I would find a shack, actually. Since I'm a solo player, I wouldn't necessarily be into compounds, you know, or complete buildings, you know, at this stage or at this level. But, you know, it could get very tricky. If I would park my vehicle, I would park it in one house and be in another house entirely, you know, because everybody right now would be very wary. You know, we've got 14 players in the cut, 14 teams in the cut, 46 players around. So you know for a fact that it can, you know, turn on its head very, very quickly, relatively quickly for Laser here. But he does have a little bit of ample time to play with. If I was him, I would even be in the sniper tower instead, you know, and take on anyone that tries to, you know, surprise me or anything like that. But again, you know, Afro Esports are 5 eliminations in, 5 points clear. So I believe with that performance, they would be able to, crack into the 20s, position of the game right now. Active Gaming is still not too far away. They've got one player in the cut, so it's very interesting though. That Afro Esports eliminated a couple of players from Active Gaming, cutting them down to one player, and now 21st Century have done the same thing to Afro Esports, cutting them down to one player. So now it's a battle of who's going to survive the longest between the what is left of these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see, what that does mean for the two teams right there as they do look to, secure those placement points right on that leaderboard. But now the boys from 21st Century, who they take down two members from the boys from Afro Esports, will be looking to see if they can get themselves into a good spot. But look at Laser so far, just holding this position, trying as much as possible to see if he can evade, the boys from OG who are rotating around that particular region, looking to see if they can get themselves into that zone.
Play zone, the number one up for all of these teams. Remember the play zone in the previous game having like 5 KD, eliminating teams left, right, and center. But it is going to be impressive to see, most of these teams that are going to be centered up, Vibe Gaming as well, still centered up somewhere outside of school. And guys from O3 on that northwestern side. Okay, sorry. Yeah, there was a
Problem.
lot. There was a little bit of static, on my end, but I think it's all been sorted. But laser will laser through towards the guys from OG. I do. If it was me, I would not be this aggressive. Absolutely not be this aggressive. But beautiful play from laser there. I mean, if it was me though, I mean that was me though. I wouldn't be shooting at the ops just like that. But OG will be losing a player, unfortunately, there, courtesy of the guys from Afro Esports. The laser still lasering through. It is impressive, though.
Yeah, absolutely impressive stuff coming in from Laser right there as he tries as much as possible to see if he can continue to rack up those points for his team. But speaking about racking up those points for his team, several of these guys are looking to get themselves into a good spot right there. We also see the boys from CLS getting into the mix of the action with several different teams. There's the boys from Dream Team who are now beginning to feel the hurt as Stoner and his boys are sending them shots onto their position. The boys from Dream Team are also trying as much as possible to see if they can keep them at bay, but Danny Brown is having none of that. He is, hopping into his vehicle, looking to see if he can get an off angle on them and continue to send on them shots.
It is very impressive, when most of these players, they already know their roles when it comes to these engagements. Danny Brown, super impressive when it comes to, playing around from the idea of playing off angle. And again, that off angle setup thing, it is very crazy when it works. But again, I think it does two things. Draws fire from the rest of the other teams, draws fire, and then gives you the off angle or gives you an angle where you can take a couple of shots towards the ops from. So it's very impressive when it works out, but before it works out, you have to plan, you have to execute, and the more often you do it, the better at it you get. So that is why Danny Brown is one of the most impressive players in the NPL so far.
Yeah, definitely. We'll continue to see, what that does mean for his team CLS as they will be looking to see if they can capitalize on his gameplay and continue to boost himself up. But speaking about gameplay, let's take a look at where all of this. On home.
Ooh, still a little bit too early to call, but because we've got 13 teams, we've got 44 bodies in the cut. It's still a little bit too early to call, but it looks like a vibe might just be able to do it again. I mean, I do love the position they have inside of that play zone right now. You know, it tends to tell you a lot. They are operating from the northern side, and that is exactly how they played it in the first game. You know, making the quick plays, making the advances very, very early on, so they do not have to get chased away by the play zone. You know, when all of those teams tend to play to the edge. But the guys from O3 having the same idea. O3 still shy of a chicken dinner, but hopefully they will be able to step up to this one, and again they will be able to, you know, crack it a little bit closer to get a taste of that 1 million naira prize pool. But again, Cyclone Shield there just getting ramped up a little bit too early, as the guys from Old Guards will be looking through there towards the guys from 10-11. A couple of sprays working magic there. Chief will be spotted, and a couple of shots will be sent in his way as well, but it will fall back a little bit surely. But Bego will catch Pedri, knocks him clean off with the UMP. And now the guys from 10-11 again starting to run right through, as OG will be losing 2 players. Cole and Chief will be the last 2 left. And it is going to be an unfortunate scenario here. But they do have 2 eliminations to boot, and it's still too early for them to get knocked away, as there's still 13 teams here. No placement points for you if you get eliminated right now.
Yeah, all of the teams will be looking to see if they can get themselves into, you know, a better position right there, as the zone is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. We'll see what this means for, you know, all of these guys, as they will be trying as much as possible to find themselves into that central position. The boys from 10-11 are also now beginning to make the rotations, as we do see the boys from OG, or what is left for the boys from OG as well, looking to get themselves into a spot within, you know, that circle. And some different teams are just trying as much as possible to play careful. The boys from OG, the boys from Dream Team, the boys from MOB are pretty much just at the edge right now. And well, what would you say about teams that play the edge game?
You know, I mean, it is one of the oldest strategies, you know, in the book. Playing the edge of the circle, you know, gives you a little bit of time. Of course, it is very, very high risk, you know, significantly higher risk than playing, you know, compound to compound defense, or, you know, box to box, or if you want to play center circle, you know, like some other teams tend to play it, you know. But again, you know, edge of the circle, it gets very tricky, especially when an engagement comes right through. But Locane, it will go be spotted there by No Name, sent back into the lobby very, very quickly. 3 eliminations to the guys from O3. And that was a beautiful play coming in from them. They surrounded the area, had a couple of splits working out, and the guys from Foul Play just got overwhelmed relatively very quickly. And now that is a very interesting setting that they've been able to have. You know, the guys from O3 and now 21st Century will fall into the sight of the guys from 10-11. Bego scoping in towards the north. You can see them, and a couple of sprays right through there to Ace, and Ace will shoot back as well. And Pharaoh exposes his head just a little bit too much there. Bego will spray again with the M4 on the 4 times, working hand in hand. He will try his best to get a couple of knocks right through onto the guys from 21st Century, but they will get out of dodge there. It would just be the right call. But Baby drives right just a little bit too close for comfort there. Might just run into the guys from OG. And Baby is going to find this place and call it home. And the rest of the team for 21st Century will pull up as well. But Old Guards are within this area. They might just decide to start lobbing in grenades. And I spoke too soon. Grenades already coming out, courtesy of Chief and Cole there. Sprays out through. And Pharaoh will get knocked away by first Arctics. Your might will send shots in his general direction. And now the guys from Old Guards might just decide to capitalize on this if they can understand what is going on just beside them inside of the trenches.
All the Western will finding themselves in a very sticky situation. The several different ops are currently around the vicinity, looking to see if they can push up onto this location that they have. And I think it's quite a good one if it does remain within that zone right there. But be curious to see how all these guys continue to play.
10-11 trying their best to breach and branch out, as O3 will be spotted out here by the guys from First Arctics, but La Beast will take the advance. He wants all the smoke. He wants to deal the damage onto the guys from First Arctics. He wants to drive them out of that position, but he exposes himself just a little bit too much there. 21st Century will make him pay almost immediately, but he is going to climb inside of this building just in time, but hopefully the rest of his teammates will come inside and get that revive, or Bella Beast is continuing to bleed out, and it gets very, very dangerous right now. But Nexus will pull up inside. And unfortunately, he chooses to pop out the grenade instead, and La Beast will continue to bleed out. It's an unfortunate scenario there, but it looks like they will let him go out, and that will be the end. It would have been a wiser choice to get that revive on him, though. But unfortunately, that is not the case, as O3 will lose one of their players as they make this advance into the guys from First Arctics. Couple of sprays, pops right through. Dolly gets knocked away, but so does Nexus. And now O3 in a serious predicament here as Yo Might comes outside, tries to pop right through, and he is going to get the next one. 2 for 2 there for First Arctics as Yo Might takes the matters into his own hands. Sprays right through, and another one goes down. And there comes another one. Agathe to the rescue. Gets another one down, and O3 will be swept away by First Arctics in a defensive encounter. Beautiful play by First Arctics there, as O3 will be swept away.
Man, unbelievable stuff coming in right there from First Arctics, as they did defend that position quite well and hang on to their life in that particular game. But now we'll turn our sights onto the boys from 10-11, who are trying as much as possible to see if they can get themselves into that zone. But they've got the boys from First Active. They've also got 21 Century in front of them right there, and it's a quite a position that they have. You can see Roy's position. He's just in the line of sight of Bego, and let's take a look at it from Roy's point of view. He might get taken out. He just might get spotted by Bego, but the smokes are currently providing him some cover right here, please.
Utilities will always work every single time you use them, but all you have to do is use them effectively. The smokes and the grenades from all of these teams doing a fantastic job. But 10-11, a beautiful position they have inside here, inside of the play zone, or outside of the play zone, just outside of the play zone. But it is a fantastic job. They've been able to crack right through. And again, they might just be able to hold on this one, at least for the time being. There's a whole lot of work that's required for them to navigate inside of that play zone. They will crack right through just inside of that little building there. And now they're outside. First Arctics just to their left. Knock and lobby to the northern side. Grenade from Bego starts to cook. And he might just decide to pop it right through. Beautiful grenade. But it might just explode me there. Might just not connect as well. And it does explode me there. But now it's the opportunity for the guys from 10-11 to breach right through from that position. So 4 versus 3 against the guys from First Arctics. It looks like there might just be a little bit more to it than that, as the guys from First Arctics are doing a fantastic job of defending this position. They are enough. It's actually a 4 versus 4. First Arctics were able to get that revive off earlier on. So now it's 10-11 if they would make this advance, but it looks like a whole lot more would be involved in this engagement, speaking of. And Your Might does have a lot of teams to deal with here. Dream Team will be pulling up just a little bit too close to that corner there. Chris and Sad finding themselves just outside of the shack right there, but a couple of sprays from the guys from 10-11 towards that western side. That Shregs will catch Chris, knocks them clean off. And now is the opportunity for the guys from 10-11 to breach right through, but they have to be careful though. Your Might catch Shregs on his advance right through, but a grenade instead will catch Chris. Instead, knocks him clean. Beautiful work from Bego there. And now is the opportunity for the guys from 10-11 to steal some more eliminations and bread into that butter. Beautiful stuff. 4 eliminations to the guys from 10-11, and it looks like more are starting to cook right now for the guys from 10-11. There's 8 teams inside of here, 26 players doing an absolute madness there. And now as the game continues to progress right through, it looks like 10-11 will be using this opportunity to advance just a little bit closer to the guys from First Arctics.
Yeah, we'll see, what that does mean, as the boys from First Actors are currently, just all the way up in this vicinity and the boys from if they can keep several different teams at bay. The boys from 21 Century also beginning to feel the hurt right there from Dolly, and here's what Dolly needs to be careful, because they might just drop Dolly and open up things for the boys from 10-11 to pull up onto this location. But we're moving on to that next zone, moving on to that stage 7, and things are still not looking quite like they're about to end, as all these teams are continuously, just outside that zone, trying as much as possible to make their push. The boys from MOB, getting taken down right there. Yo Mike gets dropped down to the ground, and I do think this is an opportunity for the boys from 10-11 to push.
Yeah, it could spell a lot for them, Fex is getting revived there by Bego. Oh, but there could be a lot more work for them to do here as they make the advance into the guys from First Arctics. Crocs is still holding up on that left side as Bego will pop another beautiful grenade, a smoke grenade, just to hide that position. Dolly is down to about 10 HP, but they do make the advance. And now 10-11 will be breaching a little bit closer and closer, inching closer and closer, but they do not have play zone. But they will be taking the advance very, very now at the door, rather, at the gate of the entrance onto the guys from 10-11, but Dolly will catch Shregs, knocks him down immediately there, and the next one to follow is Fex. Dolly doing a fantastic job of eliminating the guys from 10-11, but Bego is going to get him knocked down as well, down to 1 HP, and now the guys from 10-11 doing their absolute best to deal off, but here comes God G and Agathe again for the rescue. First Arctics eliminating yet another team, sending them back into the lobby. This time it's 10-11. And First Arctics up 8 eliminations, and now that is the performance, ladies and gentlemen, that we have been looking for. First Arctics up 8 eliminations, and it looks like they might just be able to take this one. But 21st Century might just have something to say about this one. But here comes Cyclone Shield, still inside of the mix right there. The utility is already coming out from Umite, and he is going to be the last one up. And he might just play spoiler. He does have the play zone, but he does not have enough utilities. No grenades to do any job right here, as you might will fall a little bit there to the players on the left hand side. The spray starting to come through from the guys from Dream Team. Rash is going to play spoiler there. He eliminates almost 3 players from the guys from First Arctics, and now we'll just be doing the trick there. Beautiful spray right through from Roach. He will get Baby down, but Roy is there to the rescue, sends him down immediately, and now is the opportunity. Baby will get confirmed by Agathe. First Arctics inching closer and closer to that chicken dinner. It is a 3 versus 1 though, 21st Century against Agathe right now, and it looks like they might just have the dealings here. She does not have the play zone. There's a whole lot of work for her to do. She can manage this position here. Roy plays to the left hand side, the Bales on the right, tries again, but Agathe is going to get up. He's spotted immediately and run over immediately as well by Pharaoh. 21st Century will finally get that chicken dinner that has been eluding them for the entirety of today.
Man, absolutely amazing stuff coming through right there from all of these teams. But my goodness, what a game so far from First Actics, as they did find themselves, getting, just would I say quality and top-notch eliminations coming through for the boys from First Actics, as they took out 10-11. They took out 0-3, the current champions, and those are 2 heavyweights, and they did it quite well defending a position in that building. So kudos to them, coming in and getting those points on the leaderboard.
Yes, big shout out to the guys from First Arctics. That was a beautiful performance. Now that is what you call a very, very strong, defensive team, a team that knows how to play, in a defensive position inside of the building. They breached, 0-3, breached 10-11 significantly well, I might add, without having to struggle too much, and they did a fantastic job of holding out. They were able to get at least, I believe, 9 eliminations and in total, but let's not forget 21st Century doing a fantastic job. They were playing from the outside, and they did not necessarily have to overplay their hand. I remember when they made their rotation away from the guys from 10-11 from the hillside after a couple of sprays from Bego towards Baby as well, so they navigated from that position and found somewhere else to be. So yes, they made the right call, they made the right decision, and they were able to, squeeze right through and navigate. So yes, 21st Century doing a fantastic job, getting, I believe they were able to get, I think 10 eliminations in total from that from the entire game. So yes, that is the right course of action. They've cracked into the 20s, and now, the competition is on.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be curious to see what the leaderboard does say at the end of the day and who it will be on top of that leaderboard right there. We'll be, taking a quick break. When we do come back, we will take a look at the leaderboard and see, where all of these teams are currently positioned. We're done with the games for the night, but let's just wait and see, what the leaderboard does say while we take a look at some adverts.
Hello guys, my name is ISTG Oluwashom. My in-game name is 0390018. I'm the clan leader at the IGL of O3 Brothers. Yeah, we finished first place in the last season of MPL. And then our experience in the tournament was very, very good because it was a nice competition. So we could learn new things, we could learn how to rotate on new strats, and then it paid off well. And we hope you guys can get us a better stream and then increase the price pool. That was all. Thank you very much. Thank you Carbon. Thank you 1080. Thank you MPL. God bless.
In the stream, I'm exhausted.
All right, guys. So we're back. We're back. So I know that we did promise you guys that we were gonna wait for the leaderboard, but we want you to go and check it out on our social media.
Yes. Check it out on our social media. Do not forget to follow 1080 Play on all social media platforms. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. But if you want, the leaderboard will be up. When you hop onto 1080 social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, every single place. So do not forget to, follow through. If you enjoy the stream, a big shout out to you, to every single person that turned up tonight. It is the NPL finale. It is season 6. And stay strapped, stay ready. We'll catch you same time tomorrow. Peace.